Good morning. Sorry about the delay. Had to answer a call. Hello. Yes, I know you couldn't hear anything. That's what I was saying. Our live broadcast will begin in 5 minutes. That lets you guys know. That gives me time to share out. I actually ended up having to answer a call. So that's what that part is on there for. Whenever you see that, I'm not saying anything. Hello, everyone. All right. What was that fell? How is everyone doing? Have you guys shared out the video yet? I don't think so. I'm looking at these numbers and I don't think you guys shared out the video. I need for you guys to share to your silhouette groups, your craft groups, just share, show some support and hit that share. Also, go ahead and if you can, hit the thumbs up, hit the likes. It takes 2 seconds to do that. You won't miss anything. We haven't started yet. So you can go ahead and hit share. You can hit like. I was supposed to be sharing, but I got a call. So I'm actually sharing right now as well. Maybe I'm not sharing. I have no idea what is going on right now with my phone. Maybe we're not going to share. What's going on? Well, I can't even say if it's breaking up because there's no video on it. I don't know. I'm just getting a ring on can you guys hear me? Does my voice sound like it's cracking or breaking up? I don't know. I'm getting like the just spinning thing on my phone. So I'm not sure if my internet is out right now. Are you guys able to still hear me? And does my voice sound crazy? Thank you for the stars, Maya. Appreciate it. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Hello. I'm also missing which I don't see the remote for my lights because hopefully it's not too dark because I don't have that light on, just my key lights. So hopefully it's not too dark. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm a little bit late, whole hour late. But, you know, sometimes that's what happens. You wake up in the morning and, you know, things just happen. And you have a schedule and it's just you and you have to answer calls, handle things, take care of emails. Sometimes your schedule just ends up off. This is why I don't like scheduling things. And like unless it's like a class and I really try and make sure that I don't have anything else going on or if any calls come in, like, so for those, I try to make sure, but like for these, it's really hard to schedule because things will happen because we run our own business. So we don't have a lot of staff. So things happen and yeah, end up being a little bit late, but we are here. We're going to learn some Silhouette Studio. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Ooh, something went in my eye. Are you guys ready to learn some things in Silhouette Studio? So today we are going to review how to utilize my templates. Now you can design your own within Silhouette Studio. If you kind of have a few skills in Silhouette Studio, you know how to use some of the tools. For those who want to, oh my gosh. Oh, something's in my eye. But for those who want to learn how to like design them yourself, we will have a class coming up. I'll let you guys know as far as what the date is. I just need to confirm some things first, but just so that you can learn how to utilize certain tools and do things within it to create your own designs, that will be coming up. But for this one, I'm going to share with you guys how you can make custom design, well, custom grad fans from the templates I do have available on the site right now. Most of them are, well, all of them are in Silhouette Studio format. Some of them are available in SVG and others are not. I'm trying to figure out how I can do that because it's like the background of it. I'm going to have to probably just make that solid and you guys fill it in with whatever background you want. And I'm still working on the Photoshop ones because some people have asked about Photoshop. And with the Photoshop one, you can open that up in Affinity Photo to use that. And the SVG, you can open up in Affinity Designer. So you can use these templates with other programs. I will not be showing how to do it in other programs. I only really deal with Silhouette Studio. I will do like a quick snippet for those who are in, like who use Cricut, because you can open up the SVGs now. As far as print size, your fan gonna be like this big. So I don't necessarily recommend it, you know, with Cricut because your fan gonna be this big. But I've seen some people that have really small like fans. Actually, someone that ripped off my design about 4 years ago. Yeah, they were doing like signs that were, or fans that were basically an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Yeah, they ripped off my designs and that was fun. So yeah, but we're going to learn how to work with the templates. If you have not been over to the site, let's see. Let's go ahead and copy that. And then share my screen. So the link is now in the description. So if you would like to go over to the site, that link will take you directly to it. But when you're on the site, if you come down to feature collections, this first one right here is your grad fan templates. And yeah, so they all come with like this style comes with the digits and you'll change them out. I'll kind of show that style. These come with the numbers up until 2023. I just fixed this one where it's 2023. You can use any font though that you want. And yeah, and so this style comes with all of the numbers as well. Oh, this is, I was like, wait a minute. So that one's silhouette and this was the SVG. I was like, wait a minute, why is there another one? And then that one's SVG, Silhouette Studio only. Oh, wait, some things are missing because where is the silhouette version of this one? I'm going to have to go in and check to figure out where the silhouette version of this one is. But there is the direct link for that. I'm pretty sure I'll get the question. So I'm also going to give you guys the link for paper and things. I have used a wide variety of paper. I don't necessarily have a specific paper that I like to use. It used to be Hammer Mill. But yeah, their paper isn't the greatest anymore. Like, yeah, not a big fan of their paper anymore. But I have one that's called Navigator Platinum. It's thin, so you do have to mat it or basically layer it. You can use photo paper, you can use glossy, you can use matte. That is totally up to you. There is no one specific paper. If you have a type of cardstock that you like, hey, you can use it. There is no specific paper to use, but I do have some like koala papers that are on my Amazon store, like my recommended list. So we're gonna go ahead and put that over there. Oh wait, wrong thing. I just put the same one back in there, y'all. Hold on one second. Why did you not copy? Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Why does it keep going to the same one? I have no idea what's going on. There we go. All right. Bam. There we go. So this is like stuff for paper crafting, glue sticks, glue guns that I use. That's what I was saying. I used to use the Hammer Mill. I haven't used it recently because it had lost every level. I might try to order some more to see if their paper quality has gone back. Before they used to be called digital color copy cover or color copy digital cover, and it had a frog on it. Then they changed to premium color copy cover, and that's when it all went to hell. And I don't really care for the quality, but I'm going to try them again to see. But the koala one has been like pretty good to me right now. Okay. No, we haven't announced or we haven't released the paper yet. I have files that are for Silhouette Studio mainly. There are some that are in SVG. Some of the other ones, like when you hold on. So like this style, because it has the chalkboard, I have to do some things to kind of get it to work in SVG. But there are some of these that are available in SVG format. Actually, it might be just two. I have to add the rest of them. And as I said, I will have the Photoshop ones. The Photoshop ones, you can also open in Affinity Photo. The SVG ones, you can open up in Affinity Designer. All right, so that's that. And what I also forgot to do was my little intro here, okay? My name is Shakia. My company is Silaholics Anonymous, and I do live videos, tutorials, and things like that to assist you guys with learning and mastering Silhouette Studio. I do have an academy where I teach, I have some things that are like still beginner, but I go more in depth, teach you not just the how. In a lot of my classes that I have over on the academy.silaholicsanonymous.com. But you can always check out my free content here on Facebook and YouTube. And there's a few like floating around like in my Facebook group still and on my page where I've done live videos and stuff like that. So be sure to hit like and follow over on Silaholics Anonymous as well as Honestly Speaking. and join our Facebook group, Silaholics Anonymous, Silhouette Help, and Honestly Speaking 365 to post questions, share your crafts. I don't do exclusive videos really in the group. I do my videos on these like platforms, and then I share them to the groups. So be sure to join the groups to, be able to receive assistance and help and just share with others and like-minded crafters and post your crafts. All right. So, oh, have I thought about doing copy paper? Oh no, we have plans to have cardstock, but we haven't released the information yet. Typically, how big do you make your fans? I have two different sizes. I have a small and a large. My large ones, sometimes I will say like it kind of maxes out on 11 by 17, but within reason, because sometimes if you do like the whole thing, they can look really, really weird if you don't have a big enough stick for it. But I pretty much max my large ones out to 11 by 17 paper, and my small ones, I fit 2 on 11 by 17 paper, or maxing it out basically to an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I don't have a typical size. That's up to you. I don't know what size printer you have. So that will really determine how big you do them based off of your printer size. And if you have a Cameo and you can do a bigger print and cut, or if you're trying to do it from Cricut, or if you're just going to print it out and hand cut it. I have had people that do that. Like I will create their design for them, send it to them, and they basically hand cut them. She actually hand cut them in the car at graduation, like right before the graduation started. So you can hand cut them if you feel like you're real nifty with these scissors. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to share with you guys some of the ones that I have done. And it actually, I'm horrible. I have said this before. I am horrible when it comes to posting like my stuff to Instagram. There's a lot of stuff that has never made it to Instagram, like a whole lot of stuff that has never made it. But I'm going to go ahead and let's go view, extra large icons. And so some of these pictures are horrible because, yeah, it was just bad lighting. But you can kind of see, like, if it was all one color, if it's like multiple colors. These are all going to be from 2018. And then I have more, as you saw on the this is the only template that's not on there. I have to, like, I will say that this is one where it's arranged in a way to where I know how to use it. I have to simplify it for others. So this particular one is not on the website. But if you can't, like, there's other ways that you can do it. And you can use different scroll ones, and you can, like, trace them and do all the necessary stuff for them. But yeah, the way mine is set up right now, it's kind of weird. So that one is not on the website right now. So you can kind of see this. This is 11 by 17. My designs do go outside of the registration mark, and I will just hand cut that part. But this is 11 by 17. So depending on the way that's like how it's designed, is it long, is it wider, or is it longer, will determine how I put it on the page. And this does go past the registration marks. It does not affect how it cuts. It just will not cut anything that's outside of the registration marks. And like I said, I just cut those myself. I cut that by hand. Don't ask me why the picture's upside down. And you can go very basic and like really, really add some custom elements to things. The numbers are on there. For the ones that have the year, it's up until 2023. And then this, like these styles, they have the numbers on there. They have the digits 0 through 9. So they're already on there. And there's what the back looks like. It's just, so whatever you make, like whenever you design it, you just have one that is like just a solid color. So I'll just take it, make a duplicate, weld it all together. So it's just a solid piece. I cut that and I glue that to the back. That is how I do mine. Not sure if you can see, but there are like, maybe you can see the indentation. There's a popsicle stick here, and there's actually one going straight up and down here. I like for mine to have some weight to it and for them to really be used as a fan. So I do add popsicle sticks in the center of mine. Some people don't do that. And they just put, I've seen some people where they just put a, the paint stirrer from the hardware store. They'll just put that on the back. That is totally up to you. I don't do that. I always cover up my sticks, but I have seen people that would do that, and they're more like a church fan, and they'll just staple it. Some people glue it. Again, there are a number of ways that you can make them. There is no one set way. You do what's comfortable for you, what you want to do as far as like price wise, what range you want to kind of keep that in. Oh, you know what? I think I moved that in preparation for this. I moved all of that to grad senior, I think. Nope, they're not in here either. The ones from like the recent years, I am horrible. As I have said many, many times, I am horrible with posting to Instagram. Really, really bad. I thought I have some on my, Facebook page. I'll post here before I post to Instagram. I'm trying to see, were there any other ones? I think if I go back, yeah, they're like all the ones from 2018. Yeah, I don't have any of the ones from 2019 or 2020 on here, which is kind of crazy. Yep. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, and jump into this. I'm going to go over to Silhouette Studio, and I opened up quite a few of them, but I'm going to have to close them because it will bog down Silhouette Studio. So let's close this one. And so this is an actual one. Let me rotate this 90 degrees. This is probably a better way to see it versus the one that was on Instagram. And you don't have to use the wavy sticks. You can use the regular straight sticks as well. All right, so let's close that one. This template also isn't on there because this is like, I mean, they had a bunch of different pictures they want. So I ended up making this one custom for this. And I created this template to have all of these pictures in here. Ooh, I should have left that one up. That was a good example of how, like, if they send you a picture that's not ideal and their back is cut off, putting something on the side is a great way to kind of cover that up and mask it. Oh, this is why I left this one open. I'm going to undo. So this was an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. So this is my small size, and I max it out based off of like, to where they will fit and not cross over each other. So that's how I size my small one. This one is 9.697 by 9.230. And if it was, actually, no, let's see. So around here would be the max size as far as the large one, because that's the design maxed out on this size paper. This is 11.162 by 10.625. Let's see. Like this style, if I were to max it out, although I think this was done on my 12 by 18 paper. Let me make sure. Yep. But this style, I could max it out because hers isn't as wide. So if I wanted to max this out on 12 by 18 paper, it would end up being 14.424 by 11.248, which sometimes can be a bit too big. So 11 by 17. This is a little bit more ideal. So it's like 13 on. So on this one, again, and I can probably even go a little bit bigger. This one, I could probably stay within the cut lines and still have a decent size. So this one is 13 by 13.170 by 10.270. So as you can see, depending on the design will determine how big you make it. There is no set size. And when you do these, they're not just for fans. I put this on a shirt as well. So this same design was on a shirt with Jet Pro 3G. Let's see. Do I have, if I undo, so this one maxed out for like the small size. So it was 9.88 by 7.572. And I think I did delete the other one. And this one at small was 9.697 by 230. So you can see the difference depending on, and this is also a small one. And this was 10.2 by 7.725. So depending on the design, it will determine what that will be. And this is also maxed out. So not all, well, if you can pre-live my 17, you can probably max out your insets. So this is like maxed out, all the way out to the widest point for print and cut for the silhouette cameo. Let's see. These are 10.474 by 7.067. His maxed out was 11.25 by 11.154. So yeah, a lot of different sizes you can make it. And that's all I was saying. There are certain styles where you get the digits like this. So let's start here. These are designed in Silhouette Studio, and the templates are on my site, and they are $8 each. Yes, and they can be used for different things. I mean, they have the graduation elements on it, but as far as the templates themselves, I've made memorial fans with them. I've made spirit fans with them. What else? I mean, people have made birthday fans with them. There's all sorts of things that you can make. I mean, they're advertised as senior grad fans, but you can do a wide variety of things with them. And they don't have to be just for high school seniors. I've done some for college graduates. I've had parents want them for their kids that are graduating from middle school, going to high school. I've done them for pre-K graduations. I've had them, for promotion ceremonies from elementary school to middle school. Hell, I even had one parent They just wanted to have it when they had the promotion ceremony from the 2nd grade to the 3rd grade. So there is no limit in how you can use them. Okay. Yes, my customers either email me or text message me their photos. No, no fonts are included in any of these templates. No fonts are included. Yep, you can do them for weddings. There is no limit in what you can use them for. And if you take, when I have the class, you will be able to learn how to make them no matter what occasion, because I'll show you how to create the shapes for different things, how to add your text, how to really crop down pictures and layer and do different things. So with that one, it's just going to be, I call them more so like spirit fans or event fans. And when I have that course, you will learn how to like create them for any events. Okay. Thank you so much. If you would like to book a one-on-one session, just go over to our website, shop.silaholicsAnonymous.com, and click on the top part that says one-on-one, and you can book a one-on-one session to learn different things within Silhouette Studio. All right, so let's start here because this is a blank one. Everything is customizable. They will come with certain colors in them, and it's probably based off of like the last design that I did or whatever thumbnail, like whichever flat fan I used in the thumbnail. But everything is 100% customizable. All right, so you're going to ungroup it, and let's take this banner off. Can you use them in Cricut? I mean, you can, but they're going to be very small because of the limitation of Cricut's print and cut. But can you use in Cricut? You sure can. It's just going to be very small. So you're going to ungroup it, and then this is the back layer. You can make that whatever color you would like. I do recommend that you print out, like for your printer, I don't ever like to use any of the colors within the Silhouette Studio color palette. I mean, I just clicked on that one just to show you that you can change the color, but I do find that none of these colors print true to color. Whether you are printing to a regular printer, sublimation, like pigment ink, dye ink, sublimation, it does not matter. I find that it does not print true to color. Now, if you want to know what these colors produce, you can create a color swatch palette, print it out. If you're going to sub it, sub it out, well, print it and sub it so you can see what the output of these colors are. But I find that none of these colors work, and they are different. The way that these color palettes look from Mac computers to PCs is totally different. And then also, if you have your program set up on a dark theme, it looks different as well. Do you see how different that looks? So you would look at that and think it's like certain colors, and it's not, because it shows up differently in the dark theme. So that's dark. Note how this looks in dark. And then if I go back to the light theme, it looks totally different. So I don't use the color palettes there, as far as really creating the colors to print out or anything like that. I don't use any of those. What I do, and I actually have to print out a new one. So I have my color charts that I use for sublimation, which, where in the hell did it go? I don't know. I use for me, I use a Pantone color chart. And I didn't even grab that because I didn't think to kind of go into that. But I use a Pantone color chart to really pick my colors. Pantone color charts can be expensive. They're like $100 and some odd dollars, or one of them I got for like $70. The other one cost me $100 and some odd dollars. This is not my color chart one. Okay. So I can use this one, and I kind of know what colors will be produced from like these. This is actually printed on on printable vinyl. So you cannot print this from your regular desktop printer. So my vendor, my printer that I use, they print on Orajet. And I had them print out all of my color charts on the Orajet in the glossy and the matte so that I can look at it and kind of idea of what the colors will look like. So I'll sometimes use the matte one rather than like just reprint this out. I used to have one printed out, but it got messed up and I just never printed one out again. But I'll use this as a reference if I don't use my Pantone color charts. As you can see, I even have it on my glitter vinyl. I mean, not glitter vinyl, my glitter cardstock. So I have my color charts printed out in so many different things, on so many different things. I even have one printed out on Jet Pro 3G on the back of a shirt. And I always reference my color charts or my reference charts. I don't ever use the colors within Silhouette Studio. Okay. Let's go back. But you can go in and customize them, like I said, to any color. If you are trying to use a color from your color chart, you would have your color chart printed out. You're going to look at that chart and it has numbers on it. You would then come over here to the color palette, go to advanced options. Next to the pound sign, hashtag, hash mark, whichever you choose to call it, you would highlight that number and replace it with the number or the code that you want to use. So I'm just going to choose this like pinkish color. Let's go D81B60. Okay, so it will fill in with that color. That is how I go about changing the colors on the design. For everything else, if you have Design Edition or above, you have a properties dropper. So you can go in this, like, so from this template, you can go in and go edit, select by color, by fill. I'm going to choose the orange because now that's the color I want to make this. And then I would, now that all of my orange is selected, I'm going to go up here and, well, let's zoom back up. I'm going to go to my properties dropper and I'm going to select this color. It fills it in. So now let's say my green color right here, I want that to be, I'm just going to pick a color from here and let's say that that is a purple. I'm going to go and select all of the greens. If you do not have Designer Edition or above, you would come back up to either the color palette here or on this side and go to the dropper on the color palette. So either one. And then you would hover over that other color and select it and it will fill the colors in. So that is how you change the colors. For designs like this one, we're going to pull this away. All right, we're going to ungroup. Click on the 9, delete. We're going to click on, well, let's release compound path. You know what? Let's just delete it all. I can fix it later. We're also going to delete the background. So now we're going to get the 21. So we're going to just line this up, put the 1 on this side. We're going to select all 4 numbers. Come over to your transform panel. And I'm going to align them to the middle. And I'm going to space them evenly horizontally and group them together. And we're going to move this over some, or to make sure that it's centered, I'm going to select all of like the word class and the lines here. I'm going to group those, select that with the number, and then align to the center. And that will make that perfectly aligned. All right, let's go ahead and make this white. Then to do those offsets, I do recommend that you make this bigger first. So we're going to make a duplicate of this. Make it bigger. And then I'm going to put my offsets. So I'm going to go offset. And you're going to change your offset to whatever size, you want it to be. And I'm going to make this that purple color. I like to remove the line color. And then we're going to Control G on a PC, Command G on a Mac to group, or you can hover over and right click and group, or you can use the icon up here to group. I'm going to do another offset. This one normally a little bit smaller, so let's go 0.02. And then apply. And then we're going to move this over and down. Fill that in, and that's how I got the staggered colors to it. Then you're going to select it all, group it together, and resize it. And place it wherever you would like on the design. Someone asked, what if you don't want the grunge look? You can use whatever font you want. I mean, so if you have the banner, you can use whatever font. Now, if you do want to remove it, you're going to put an outline color on it. You're going to release compound path. And then we're going to ungroup. I'm going to hold down Shift, click in the middle of the 2, click in the middle of the O, click in the middle of the A. Wait, oh shoot, this one wasn't ungrouped. So for some reason, this wasn't ungrouped. So I'm going to select here. I'm going to hold down Shift, click in the middle of the O, and hit Weld for everything else. So that's going to get rid of the middle part. Select everything and make it a compound path. And then this wasn't ungrouped. So we're going to ungroup. Hold down Shift, select the middle of the A. We'll click the middle of the A to deselect it. Weld everything. And then select it all and make it a compound path. These parts right here. Weld. Weld. Ungroup. Hold down Shift. Click the middle. Weld. Select it all. Make it a compound path. If you would like the color chart, we do have them on our website, shop.silaholics.com. If you go down to Essentials, did I go past it? I did. Go down to Essentials. Your color charts are right here. But that's how you take away the grunge look on that particular font. All right. And let's just go in here and pull someone's picture that's already basically done. Let's just take Lexi's picture. Ungroup. And paste. So for your picture to get the outline, you can use, if you've never heard of the site remove.bg, you can use that. It can affect the quality of your picture depending on the quality that they sent it to you in. Some people like to use the free version, some people don't, but it is remove.bg. And you're able to upload your picture here and it will crop around it. I do have a video showing how you can go in there and edit out certain parts of it. And, you know, because sometimes depending on how the picture was, it'll take away too much. And so you can go in and edit parts of it. If you're wanting to look at or check out that video, you're going to go to, I think that's on Silaholics Anonymous. I don't think that's on Honestly Speaking. Remove background. So just type that into the search bar and it's going to, oh wait, why didn't it come up? Wrong one. Let's see. Is it not on this channel? Let me see. Oh, might help if I spelled it right. There we go. So you're going to come here and this video will show you how to remove the background. And then once you bring that into Silhouette Studio, it is, let's see. I'm going to go back and put a box around this so it can be back to the one with the box. So let's go weld. So once you bring, like once you go to remove, and this is how it kind of, it's not a bad quality as long as it's like a really good quality image. So once you bring that PNG in, it's going to have a transparent background, but it's also going to have only 4 dots, which means when you show the line color, it's just a box. Even with PNGs, you have to trace it in order to get the outline around it so that it will cut. Okay. No, so you're on Silaholics Anonymous's site. Yeah, that one is. Go to shop. That site is technically, yes, still, but all of the links are available. So it's shop.silaholicsanonymous.com. There are links in the description that will take you directly to the site, but shop.silaholicsanonymous.com is the site. All right, so you do have to still trace this no matter what to have the cut lines around it. So we're going to go over to the trace window, select trace area, place your box around it. You're going to up your threshold until all of the edges are masked in yellow. It doesn't always have to be filled in. This particular one, it ended up going like completely filled. I'm going to kind of come down a little bit on this. And then you're going to go trace and detach. And then we can move this out of the way. The invisible box, you can see the outline, goes away. Now, when you use remove.bg, because if you don't have like a stylist to help you remove intricate areas, so like for this particular picture, the background that she was on, or her cap, I think had leaves on it. I let that part stay and I was going to remove it in Silhouette Studio because I want it to be more of a cleaner line. So for that, you double click and you use your edit points to delete any areas that you don't need. All right, I have videos on point editing and classes if you want to learn to master point editing. I go into that in detail in my Essentials to Silhouette course. So there's that. So we're going to put this here. To get it to go behind the banner, you're going to right click and send it to the back. You would resize it based off of like, how big, how small you want it. If you wanted the image to be a little bit bigger, you would bring it down. You would lose more of the body because you don't want it to be too big. So let's say I wanted it here instead of like how it was before. You would cut this off. So I'm going to take my outside one. I'm going to duplicate it in front. So I'm going to either hold down Alt and click, or you can right click, copy, right click, paste in front. I'm going to make this a different color so I know which one to delete. I'm going to do an internal offset, really, really small, just because I want a little bit of overlap like when it's down. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit apply. And then with this offset, I'm coloring it just for the sake of the tutorial. You don't necessarily have to cover it, but just wanted you to show which one I was using. I'm going to hold down Shift, click on my image, go over to modify, and I'm going to subtract. Looks like not a lot has changed, but now I'm going to hold down Shift, click on the top portion of her, and this bottom part is split in half, so I can delete that. I'm also going to delete this one. So now she's pretty much right up to that. Well, she's not right up to it. It goes behind it just a little bit. I like to do it that way, just in case you have to move it. You don't have to, like if you moved it, if it's right at the edge, then you're going to have to try and line that back up every time if you move it. But if it went below it a little bit, it doesn't really matter kind of where you move it to. Well, maybe from the back side, but you can go backwards and kind of come down. All right, so there's that, although I think that is kind of big for this particular one. So let's bring her down and fix her edit points to where we fix her back. And then you just add your text. We'll type it out, make it a little bit bigger, fill it with some color. I personally like to remove the line color. You're going to come to the right-hand side, choose a font. I don't know why it's not moving. There we go. It will, of course, be their name. If you want to put a school mascot. So that's why this design was made like this, because it gives you room to add other things. So you can add a school mascot if they have a certain saying they want to put on there. Look, mom, I made it, whatever it is. Ooh, I also want to fix her hair to fly out right there. So I'm going to zoom in, highlight those edit points and delete point. and just fix that little flyaway. If you wanted the name to curve around, like kind of curve to this, you would double click, grab the white, bring it to the line, flip it up, and move it around. It will kind of curve to it. If it's script font, this one's spread out a little bit. So I'm going to come to the A, decrease my character spacing. And once I have it where I wanted, this S I can always move. But for this, for now, we're just going to go ahead and hit weld. I'm going to move my S over. Hold down, click on the S, hold down Shift, click on the E or Enyar. And then I'm going to weld that. So now that it's one. You can add offsets to it the same way that you did this. As far as the name, the school name on the inside, you will have to take this and duplicate it and pull it off to the side. Then you're going to put a line color on it and the fill color to none. And then you would type in, put it all caps, Silaholics Anonymous Academy. Right. You would choose what font you want for this. Well, let's first fill it with color. It doesn't matter what color it is for this part. But you do want to choose the font that you want to use and also resize it. Picking fonts sometimes, and if I were you, I would kind of, go through, decide what font you want to use, and be very consistent with using that font for all of your fans. If you're creating other items as well, be very consistent with that also. So if you're creating like a yard sign, or if you're creating like maybe keychains, if you're creating a mask, anything like that, I would recommend trying to stay very consistent with the font that is used, so that there aren't, like, if they have like the fan, the flag, and all they have a T-shirt on, it's all consistent. And it makes it to where you don't have to think about designing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. It's not really, I don't like that one either. Let's see. Okay, let's just use this one. All right. We're going to, this is too big for this, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. You're going to double click, bring it to the line. It's going to look all crazy. You want to push your mouse up towards the inside of the banner, and then, try not to move it too much. Bring it over, and then you can try to adjust the character spacing on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It'll make it to where it's too big. So this one is okay. The Y looks a little crazy. So let's see if we can bring this S down some and get our Y up. There are still some areas that are a little bit like close together, but once we move this to get it towards the middle, it will be a lot better. Like, it'll spread out some more. So I'm going to take my slider and move it up. So see, that's spreading it out a little bit too much. I'm going to come back into 105. Not to 105. To 100. Let's see. That's fine. because you can always adjust it more. So I'm going to maybe bring it into like here. And instead of convert to path this time, I'm going to ungroup. I'm going to tab this over. So I selected all those letters to bring this part over. I'm going to click off. Let's grab the M and the Y, move that over some, and then just the Y and move that over some. Back in. So you can adjust these once they're on there. If you felt like the S and things were too spread out, you can move those. And then select, I can even rotate this some if I felt like it was too slanted. And then I'm just going to go in and select all of this, hold down Shift. I don't need the banner, and group it together. So now I can move it over to here. So that's how you would do that. And then if you want to add different elements to it, so let's say you want to add the grad cap, we're going to group that. That can be added. You can put that like right here, maybe even shrink it down some. So if you want that over the class of, probably would have to make that even smaller. If you wanted to add the diploma, maybe to like the end of their name, you can rotate it, you can shrink it, you can flip it horizontally if you want it to go like the other way. It's totally customizable and totally up to you how you design this. There is no right or wrong way when you are designing it. I can pull it over here to where that's there. This is on top right here. And then to keep it all together, you would select it all, go over to your offset, put a slight offset on it just to group, like just to kind of keep everything together. This is 0.125. That's going to go around here. That's going to connect the S. That's going to connect the text here, with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit apply. And your machine will cut around that outline so that it all stays together as one. You can have it cut out these little pieces, or you can just double click to bring up your edit points. Hold down Shift and select the points and hit delete point. Or if you have like a lot of little pieces, fill it with color. Oh, come on. Release compound path, hold down Shift, select the area that you're going to want to keep, or if you want that to be solid as well, you just hit weld at this point. But if you want this to be cut out, you're going to click on it to deselect it, hit weld. It'll get rid of all of those pieces. Hold down Shift, click here, and make it a compound path. So now you have that cut out, and don't forget to change it back to either white or no color. And then that will cut out. So that's one style. And all the other ones are pretty much like self-explanatory. Like, they're pretty much the same. Let's see. Do I have? Okay, perfect. So this one, I can show you exactly how this is set up. And you don't have to use both. So as you see on this one, she has a grad cap on, so I ended up using just the diploma. Sometimes people will send you senior pictures and it will not have, they won't have on like a cap and gown picture, and you can add the cap to it. Let's ungroup. This was a big mistake that I made. So that's why for hers, I had to put a lightning bolt to cover up this because it printed, everything had printed and it was messed up. So let's ungroup. And that was just the way that I had to fix this to extend her tassel because it was too thin the other way. So that's a little secret to where I cut off one piece and then put it there to cover up the rest. The background does not come with this. This was like, yeah, the background doesn't come with it. This was something that I did for this particular one. You can create your own background. So it is going to be like this. And you would create your own background if you wanted something back there. That was something that I did. So that is not on the template. But the way that this is set up, undo, undo. We're going to ungroup. Okay. So let's move her name out of the way. And I'm going to open up, let's see, where's the you did it one? Here it is. So this is how it comes for you. And so like I said, you have all the way up until 2023. So I'm just going to grab the 21, copy, paste, move this out of the way. We're going to group that, move it over here. Bring it to the front. I don't know why I keep forgetting to group this. Okay. So same, like with this one, I did not have to do, like, I will say this particular one, like this picture is, I did this one, I believe, manually here in Silhouette Studio. So if I weld these, you're going to see all of her background. I personally like using edit points, and then I get the true, like the picture exactly how they sent it to me. It's not from remove.bg where it can wash it out. So I know how to go through this and use my edit points and go around it. I feel like I get a more precise trace around it when I use the edit points versus using remove.bg. But if that's not your expertise, definitely take advantage of remove.bg. But I go through and I cut around it manually with edit points. So I manually trace mine. So once it was manually traced and it has like the bottom cut off here, depending on where I wanted it at, I just used my knife tool and just kind of cut off the bottom and moved it if I didn't need that part. And then I can resize it if needed to place it in there. Okay. We're going to drag and select the 21 and the background and then send it to the back. So I can have this to where it is behind her and even off to the side. You can put it wherever you want. You can add other elements to it. You can add, you know, if they had honors or something, you want to put text within here, you can. The school name just goes here. How you arrange this will probably depend on like their name and the things that you add to it. So I ended up separating this because her Y was there. So I put, you know, Michael M and then crop on this side. The you did it is a part of it. Congratulations is a part of it. And as you're changing the colors, it will be no different than the other one. You would select the color that you want to change. I'm going to hold down shift and just select all of the purple areas and make them pink. Oh, undo. This was still grouped together. So we want to ungroup that. This is grouped together. So we're going to ungroup this and now go in and select all those purple areas and make them pink. If you ever get that low resolution, just ignore it. Oh, this was group 2. So you have to make sure all of your elements are ungrouped. So because this was grouped, so we're going to ungroup this, select the white parts and make those back white. And there we go. So you're able to, like I said, fully change and customize these. And all you're really doing with these templates is adding the picture in there. And as far as the name and the highlights, it did it the exact same way. I added an offset. I moved it off to the side. And then I put a bigger offset around like both of those and left it solid. So that's how you can create dimension in your design simply by using the offset tool. So there's that one. Let's see. Whoa, cancel. This particular one is not a graduation fan, like in the templates for the graduation fan, as far as this part here. The name, you would just type it out, put your colors on it, you know, whichever font you want to use. You'll put your name, you'll put your offsets on it. This is all just a series of offsets. So there's this one, and then I made an offset. Well, I made 2 offsets. One I subtracted, then I put another offset, then another offset around this, and then around the whole thing. And then there's a black one around the whole thing. So like I said, it's a series of offsets to create like the way her name is. And those are things that are a little bit more advanced. So yours may not look like this exactly. And it doesn't have to look like this because I have like different skill sets and I can, you know, visualize and I know how to really work Silhouette Studio. So I can use it in different ways and I can do different text effects. I do have a text effects course that will teach you how to do effects like this and add gradients and make things look 3D. Check that out. It is on the Academy site, academy.silaholicsAnonymous.com. It was a 2-day session and it was a lot of information in that. But this portion right here comes from the graduation, the yard sign templates. This is a part of the yard sign templates, and you would just go in here and change the, like use your own text to change the colors. Although I am going to update the yard sign ones again to go up until 2023. And you can just plug in, like just plug them because you won't have the font that, you know, I have. So I am going to update that. If you've already purchased it, you should get a notification that it is updated and there's a new download, and it will have all of the years up until 2023 so that you can go ahead and place it in there. But this is not a part of a graduation fan template because then it would literally be just the flag part, because all of this you fill in. Well, it would be this and the bar right here. Maybe I could add that one because it'll be a little bit cheaper if you don't want to get the yard signs. I'll probably add this one this season as a grad fan template or just event fan template. And yeah, so change colors and all of that. So for this one, just take your picture, place it there. And once you have all of your name and like this part done, you're just going to put an offset, and that's going to help keep everything together and allow you to cut it as one big piece. So that's a little bit about design. I'm going to look and see if there are any questions, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up, as like to really go through how to set it up to do the print and cuts. All right, so I don't see any questions. I'm not seeing the product for those who have graduates this year or who are looking for a great selling item. Thanks. Good morning. Yes, it is. All right, before I go into, oh, he's outside with his dad. Before I go into just, you know, wrapping this up and showing you guys how to do the, what is that thing called? Print and cut portion of it. Are there any questions? Any questions? Once I have the Photoshop one done, I'll show Photoshop. I use that one. I will not be able to show you guys in Affinity. If you know how to use Affinity, you'll probably figure out like how to change the colors and all of that kind of good jazz and ungroup. But I don't teach Affinity, so I would not be able to help you with that. Yay! So you can get started making some graduation and event fans. All right, so as far as print and cut, you would size it, depending on whatever size you want it to be. I'm going to pull this here. And for this one, we're going to go over to replicate and duplicate it to the top like that. And you want to make sure that you have your machine selected. If you're using 11 by 17, you will have to purchase a 12 by 24 inch mat. You also can tape two 12 by 12 mats together. If you cannot find silhouette mats, do not fret. I don't even use silhouette mats. I use Cricut mats until my Honestly Speaking mats come in. But I use Cricut mats, the 12 by 24. You will have to calibrate them. There is a video on Silaholics Anonymous on how to do that, but you will need a 12 by 24 inch mat if you are doing 11 by 17 paper. You're going to set your design page size to whatever size paper you are using. So if you are using 11 by 17, 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, if you are using 12 by 18, if you want to print multiple at a time and you go get you some rolled banner paper or cardstock and you want to print 5 or 6 at a time, well, actually you won't be able to print and cut if you do that. So yeah, 11 you have to keep it to the mat. So 11 by 17, any of those sizes. Now if you're going to hand cut it, maybe you can use the roll paper, but you'll set that size. Then you're going to come over to your registration marks. And you're going to make sure that they're on. I'm going to reset everything back to defaults. For me personally, no matter what, I always take my thickness all the way up to 1. Like that's the highest it will go. It doesn't affect your registration marks. It just makes the line thicker so that you can get a more accurate reading. Why it's not default, I have no idea. I don't even see the purpose of having it be that thin. That is one of the reasons why Cricut's print and cut is a little bit more accurate, because their registration area is that big old box. So it has more area to read, and it can be a little bit more accurate. You're going to get more accurate cuts if you take your thickness all the way up. Me personally, I like to have my length either all the way maxed out. I don't go any lower than 0.625. To each their own, but I don't go lower than 0.625. I don't recommend that you go lower than 0.5, but that is totally up to you. For my insets, because I am using a wide format printer, I can take all of them all the way out. So I just take my from the master one and just take it all the way out. You can do them individually by clicking on advanced options and changing the insets individually. When you're going to print, you don't want a print bleed on it. When you're looking at it, right now, my print border is set to 8.5 by 11 because that was the last size paper that I printed to. Do not be alarmed when your print border is showing small. It will adjust as long as you choose the correct print settings when you go to print. Remember, your cut border just shows what the machine will cut. You can make these, if you wanted them to be, still a little bit more space, you can make them bigger and go outside of the registration marks. you will just have to manually cut this off. So when it cuts, it's going to cut around to here, stop, jump to this side, and finish cutting. You're going to have to manually cut the areas that fall outside of the registration mark, but it will not affect how it cuts. You do, however, want to avoid having any parts of the colored design within your hashed area, like in the restrictive area around the marks. So this right here, right close to it, would not pose a problem. But if I put this even a little bit within that area, it's going to trigger a registration fail, or it might register, but your cuts are going to be off. So the areas around the registration marks is completely restricted. You cannot have any colored portion within that area. The parts up here technically isn't truly restricted. You can have this go like right here. You would just end up cutting this part manually. This part here isn't really restrictive. The areas directly around or underneath the registration marks is the restrictive area. Okay. And let's just take this down back to the regular size. Okay. Once you go to send, you're going to make sure that it is set to cut edge. You may end up seeing, let's see. Why are you showing? Oh, that says craft cut. No. Why are you showing craft cut? That's so weird. And what the heck is all of that? Okay, there we go. Cut. And why are we showing a craft blade? I don't know. But it's probably because I don't have any machines plugged in right now. So I'm just going to go to cut. When you first go, you're going to see everything set up like this. You're just going to make sure that you select everything that's there and you choose cut edge. Don't worry about the fact that it says craft. Don't know what's going on with this. You're just going to choose cut edge. And it's going to go to where it's only going to cut around the edge or any places where there is no color, where there's open areas. That's where it's going to cut. If you do not want it to cut in these areas, which I don't want it to, we're going to go back to design. And all I'm going to do is place a box right here and right here. Go back to send. Select it again. And choose cut edge. Now that part is no longer a part of the cut selection. So that's a little tip on how to get open areas to not cut. Okay, any questions for print and cut? Is there a particular force that you suggest for the blade? I can't show you, like it won't even, like it's showing craft blade, but it really depends on the type of paper you use. It depends on the mat, your mat. It depends on the blade that you're using, the quality of the blade. For my 80 pound, I use blade 6. speed 5, force 22, but I do 2 passes. I don't do a single pass because some people will take it up to like 27, 30 in that area and just try and do it as one, or they'll make their blade longer or make their speed slower. So I go about like 22 and I do 2 passes because it'll give me kind of like a shallow cut and then a deeper cut. And I just find that it just gives me cleaner cuts. So I like to do 2. Oh, but you bring up a good point. Oh, I mean, hey, that's what was working for you, but now you can just do it all as one. But I almost forgot one part. Let's go back over here. For the backing, once you have it set to the size that you want, you're going to go ahead and duplicate that. And you're just going to hit weld. That's it. It's going to look crazy. It's okay. Go over here to the colors and just fill it with a solid color. This is now your backing. I mean, you can make that. You can make it white. You're not going to print this. You would cut it. If you want it colored, you would cut it from colored cardstock. Or the same cardstock that you printed on, you would cut it from that. This would be your solid white backing. And then, of course, you would put your stick in there. I have videos assembling them from last year. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to do an updated video until I'm actually working on an order. But I do have videos, or if you watch any of my videos for print and cuts, it's the same concept. I use popsicle sticks in there to create those. Now, when I do the full on course for the event fans, I will do a demo in there, but it'll probably be not a graduation one. I'll probably make one like for a birthday, because Zanuani's birthday is coming up and we're still doing Zoom. So I'll probably make him some dinosaur ones for his birthday for us to use on his birthday. And I'll show you that portion, but it's the exact same setup as far as the stick that goes on the inside. Well, the hand, like the one that you hold, and the support sticks on the inside, it's all the same. If you would like to laminate it, you definitely can. I would not. So you wouldn't laminate, because you're going to have the stick in there. You wouldn't be able to laminate it like all together. If you want the back to be laminated, you would laminate the front, you would laminate the back, and then you would have to manually cut it. So if you put laminate on it after you cut it, you're going to have to go back in and recut that out. You can laminate it beforehand if you want. To me, it's just an unnecessary step. I don't find that a lot of people like keep these forever. They'll have them for graduation. They might get rid of them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of steps for the price point to keep it, kind of reasonable. I personally do not laminate mine. If you wanted to have a glossy or shinier look, I recommend using glossy paper. When you're using pigment ink, the ink does not run. It is waterproof. So if it gets wet, it will not run. It will not be destroyed. So you can use glossy paper. But if you're going to laminate it, you're going to want to laminate it beforehand. And the registration marks, you're going to have to like put your laminate over it, and you're going to have to cut this area out. So so you'll print it out first. You'll put your laminate over it to put through your lamination machine. But before you like heat it up and laminate it, you're going to have to cut away the laminate around the registration marks, because the glare from the laminate will make it to where the machine has a hard time reading it. Glossy things tend to not register very well when it comes to print and cut. So it's a lot of steps to laminate it before you cut it. But you can do that. Or if you laminate it after the fact, you're going to have to use like an X-Acto knife or something to go around the edges to trim it away. Yep. He'll be 3 soon, next month. Let's see. She asked, can I please show how I did the backing again? So you're just going to make a duplicate. You can fill it with color now. So I'm just going to take a color and fill it in with color. And you're just going to hit weld. So weld at the top or you can right click and choose weld, or you can go over to modify and choose weld. Now before, the first one I did it, when I hit weld, it was just showing the picture. I just filled it with color. So it doesn't matter when you fill it with color, when you weld it, you just need to weld it and fill it with color. So it's just a solid color that you're looking at. And you know that that's the one that you cut the backing with. When you're cutting the backing, you do not have your registration marks on. So I would recommend, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, opening up a new file, and we're going to paste it, put that on the page, and you would send this to cut, just regular cut. No registration marks are needed for this. It's just going to cut to whatever color paper you have on your mat. I have a question. Did you say you can use Cricut mats with Silhouette, but you have to calibrate the mat for the machine for print and cut? Yes. Hold on. Let me grab a mat. Silhouette mat was all the way on the bottom. So when you are using all of these are calibrated. I don't have any that are not calibrated. Okay. Yeah. Well, I say calibrated, but it just means to have like the tape on it. Okay, here's one. On this side, it's not. And see, I wasn't expecting to show my hands on this live. You know, no, my nails look crazy. Please don't judge me, okay? So when you look at the Silhouette mat and the Cricut mat, the sticky area does not line up. You see where that is? So the Silhouette mat, it's much higher. So if you put your paper on the Cricut mat right where it is, it's not going to register. I have a full video on how to do this, but you're basically going to, you create a template within Silhouette Studio, and then you send it to cut. But you first tape off your mat. Like you'll see, like just I use the Dollar Tree masking tape. So it's going to go down low. And then from your template, when you send it to cut, it is going to make a cut line. And then the tape that's on the inside, you just use your weeding tool, lift that up. It'll create a straight line. And now you see where that tape is? It lines up, although this one is a little bit off, but it lines up with the top. Why are you off? It's good right there. I don't know. Oh, I think I have my mat tilted. Do I have a mat tilted? Why are you off? Oh, no. Okay. The tape is missing. The rest of the line is okay. So, every time I move it, there we go. See, it lines right up with it. So I can put my paper right here, and it's going to, the registration marks is going to find it where it needs to find it. But I do have a video on how to do this. Search on YouTube, Silaholics Anonymous Cricut mat. That video will come up. It's 2 parts, how to set it up inside Silhouette Studio, and then the live video of how I tape it off and send it through the cut machine to get that. So you will have to set that up like that. Yes, I have. I've done tons and tons of videos on assembly. Just search my YouTube channel. I have all types of fonts. Like you can use whatever font you want for yours. I don't have any font suggestions because I change my fonts for every single design almost. I go through, I kind of look at the graduation picture. A lot of the times I'll know the kids, I know their personalities. Like when I did Zone, his had like, it was grad swag. So it was like a different type of feel for it. So I don't have like a set font. You can use whatever font you want. I'm a font hoarder, proud of it. I have a whole bunch of fonts. Well, I don't use paper. I use 65 or 85-pound cardstock. Now, any like 110, I don't use. I use 80-pound cardstock, like your average cardstock. I don't use regular paper. I use either 65 or 80. I don't. All right, last call for questions. We've been on almost 2 hours. So last call for questions. If you are late and just joining, I'm going to add the links. So this is the one for the collection for the fans. The one for the yard signs. And the one for my recommendation list on Amazon for print and cut items. So those links are for you there. I do have one. This is more of like a spirit one than a senior one. It was for football. So if you want to really see what the back kind of looks like, although this one's kind of rough, wasted stuff on it. But this is, was this one laminated or was this one glossy paper? Oh, this particular one was laminated only because I split it. So I laminated it to keep it together. But then I had to manually go around and cut it. And then the back is just white. And I'm not sure if you can see, like for me, like this, mine doesn't flap. Like a lot of people will have regular paper and it'll just be on the stick. Let's see. So let's say something like this. You see how that flaps? It's not a lot of wind behind that. This, you can hear the difference. This thing don't move. This better than the church fan. I mean, that's a good little breeze. This right here, no, look at the hair movement. Look at that. Look at that bounce. Okay, let's go on this side. I mean, it got a little bit of bounce, Look at that. Look at that. All in my face. If I had on lip gloss, it would stick to my lip. But that's because I have a popsicle stick here, 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 and across here. So I have 1, 2, 3, actually 4, 5 in this one to keep it nice and sturdy. It does not bend. And if you really want to cover it up more, you can do 2. I used to do that. I used to double layer these, and it take me forever to do them because I used to do 2 layers so that you really couldn't see the impression. And then I realized people didn't care, so I just do 1. It's a handmade item. It's not done on a machine. They understand that it's not priced super, super high where it has to be this, Tiffany's quality fan. It's paper. It's handmade. And I was taking up way too much time adding a second back to it. So last year, was it last year? 2019 and 2020, I stopped putting the extra backing on it. No, this is printed on regular old cardstock. Regular cardstock. The same one I use for chip bags, labels, invitations. I use one type of paper for everything that I print. Either glossy or matte. All right. No other questions. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. I'm going to do some live videos today. I have, I got to find a picture of the boys together, but they have these color changing clocks and it's just like little panels that go on the side. So I want to put the B-Bros thing that I created and then their picture on it. So I'm going to sublimate these later today. And someone asked me about doing a puzzle, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to show you guys a little twist on like the whole puzzle situation. But yeah. Hot glue. Well, I will say before I was using like this one right here. No, this wasn't all hot glue because it's sealed on the ends. So I use mainly hot glue, but like when I really want a good seal, see like that, that's when I use my Barely Art glue. Because it has a precision tip, which I had to order new ones. So it has a precision tip and it makes it really easy to glue these edges together with liquid glue so that the hot glue doesn't spew out. You're welcome. No, I didn't make them. I didn't make them on here. I just showed the design portion of how to use the various templates and change the color, add your text to it, a little bit of, creative design as far as offsets. I have other videos, so I haven't done, it's not grad season for me. A lot of people, like for you guys, you need to learn how to do it. I don't do grad sign like fans. I don't advertise them, but I'm a little bit different. So don't go by me. You may have to start and just practice and put it out there so people know that you're going to offer them. But for me, I literally advertise them a week, maybe 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is sometimes pushing it right before graduation season because everybody here in Miami they're late. Like they wait to the last second to do anything. So there's no sense in me wasting my time promoting early and all that kind of good jazz. I pretty much have like a really good, demographic on who I provide them for and just the quality of them and how many I do. I make a killing in graduation season and I don't have to do a whole bunch of them, but my designs are always unique. You guys kind of get the designs that I don't use, the designs that I'm going to be using this year. You guys won't get those templates this year. You will get them next year. Unfortunately, I never give out the templates that I am currently using because I like to be different. So I never give out my templates for the year that I'm using. But you guys will have them next year. So I normally design like maybe 2 weeks before graduation season. I put it out there and just get a shitload of orders. And I spend day and night. That's when you guys won't see me very much. And I spend day and night for all of about 2.5 weeks doing nothing but graduation stuff, like every single year. They wait to the last second here. I don't get people that place orders early. It's like they forget that their kids are about to graduate. So yeah, I don't understand how it works. Like why they do that. They act like they forget that their kids are about to graduate. And then once I go and post one, oh, Shakia, can I get? Okay, make me this. Can you make me that? Can you make? Okay, that's why that graduation season, I don't do anything else. I don't touch anything else other than graduation. And I focus on that for about 3 weeks. And then I'm done. That's the only time I actually advertise and I sell anything because I no longer really do this like all the time because I like to teach it and you can't really keep your schedule to teach and be taking all these orders because it'll mess you all up. But graduation season is very just special to me. I just think that you should just celebrate, and like that's a very big milestone. And that's normally when I am my busiest for, I'll probably say like maybe like a month, because there's like some later graduations because of like colleges and stuff like that. So yeah. One of them is, so like Amazon, I mean not Amazon, ASUB, not what you saying ASUB. Koala is a brand that you guys can get from Amazon. I was normally using Hammer Mill, but I don't really care for that. I have another one. It's called Navigator Platinum. I like it, but it is thin, so I have to do multiple layers. So I'm not going to recommend that to you guys. I, operate in a different sort of way, so I can utilize that one. I mean, I have a shitload of paper, but I figured that's from Amazon. It's on Prime. It's easy for people to kind of go and get. It's a great quality paper until the Honesty Speaking paper, is released. But Amazon paper, the paper from Amazon is one. So the link is there. That takes you to my print and cut stuff. And you can purchase that and try that out. If you don't, and it's just because I like it, you may not like it. I don't like Hammer Mill. I didn't like Hammer Mill. Other people live by it. Now I'm okay with Hammer Mill. Some people are like, oh my God, I hate it. It sucks. It makes me sick. You have to figure out what paper works for you. But as far as putting them together, you would have to go back through my archive and go find the other videos where I did those. So there's some from last year, there's some from the year before that, some on YouTube, some just on Facebook. I have videos, some of everywhere. So it's best that you go through, like, subscribe, follow, put in your keywords. So on Facebook, either type Shakia Lavelle, graduation fans, or Shakia Lavelle, print and cut, or on YouTube, Silaholics Anonymous, print and cut, Honestly Speaking, print and cut, grad fans, and all that kind of good jazz. And you will find the videos. All right. All right, I'm out of here for real because I don't want to hit 2 hours. Thank you guys so very much for joining. The links are in the comments as well as in the description. Is in the description? I'm not sure. You can get directly to the website from the description. If you end up on the site that says maintenance mode, that is the home site. Still working on that one, but the shop is definitely open. And you can also go to Academy to book your classes. Don't forget, while you are there, to shop Honestly Speaking products. We have Sublimation ink, the best sublimation paper. You can sublimate at temperatures lower than 400 degrees. Never do you have to use 400 degrees again, ever, 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 ever. You can sublimate as low as 360, 65 degrees, because we are known as Team 365. Anywhere from 30 to 50 seconds, depending on your heat press. I've done presses with the paper at 350 degrees with my easy presses for like 62 seconds, somewhere in there. Our black ink is truly black, and you don't need butcher paper or any type of blowout paper on the back, as long as you are putting it on something that's like the material itself is not going to mess up your heat press. You can use that, but you get to see our paper and ink in action because I will be back live doing some sublimation videos after lunch. All right. So I shall talk to you guys later. What printer do you use that don't have issues passing the cardstock? I use Epson 7720s. Do I know of any what? I'm trying to get out of here. Now y'all want to ask questions? I asked y'all like 30,000 times. Y'all have questions? No questions. Now we got all these questions coming in. I keep trying to get off before 2 hours. Tim, do I have any what? And for Takia, like I said, 7720s are what I use. I don't see it. It's not on here. For me in my feed, Tim, your comment isn't on here. I don't know what happened to it. It doesn't show it to me. Does sub ink void Epson warranty? Technically, any ink other than Epson. So it doesn't even have to be sub ink. It can be pigment ink. Even though it's a pigment ink, if you're using a third-party ink, if it is an EcoTank printer, how would they know? Like that TikTok. They're going to know. How will they know? They're going to know. How would they know? A lot of people say that. And of course, in their fine print, it does say that when you go on, if you're using like a 7720, it's going to tell you, it's going to void the warranty. But I know quite a few people, and they didn't even, withhold the truth and say that they did not use sub ink. They told the rep straight up, I put Sublimation ink in here. It's not working. They sent it in. They send them a refurbished one. And hey, all is well. So technically, it does void it. But has Epson honored them? Yep, because what they do is they're going to take that back. They're going to fix the issue, and they're going to put it right back on their site as a refurbished printer. So I personally don't like to deal with them. Like when it comes to that, which I don't know what I'm going to do if and when my other printers go out, because I have a protection plan. Now I'm kind of pissed because my protection plan is probably going to last, because I'm not going to turn mine in for that 7840. I can't stand that one. So hopefully, knock on wood, nothing ever happens to my Epson 7720s, because yeah, that's going to suck. But I like the store plan. The store plan that you purchase has nothing to do with the Epson warranty. Purchased protection plans have nothing to do with the Epson warranty. That is a paid protection or insurance. You can drop your printer off from a 10-foot building, take it into Best Buy or Office Depot completely shattered because that was now accidental or whatever, and they will replace it for you. Well, I know Best Buy will. I can't really speak for Office Depot or Staples, but I know Best Buy will, because that was the description that I was given. So store protection plans are not associated with Epson. But people are talking about, it voids the warranty, and they're like, oh, don't get the protection plan, you won't be able to use it. Not true. Epson's, like the manufacturer warranty, technically is voided. But I've known for people to send it back in and not have an issue. Hell, I have sent mine back in, never had an issue, because ink should not make it where it's not working. So I know you're having the issue with yours. I told you, just call Epson. They're going to walk you through a bunch of steps. You're going to tell them, no, that's not, don't even do it. Nope, not working. I can't even get it to do that. And they're going to have you pay like $89 as a hold on your credit card. They're going to send you a refurbished one. And they're going to have you put yours back in that box and send it back to them. Unfortunately, why do y'all always do that? Those are the questions that I meant about this. I cannot answer that on this one because that is not about the topic at hand. But I do believe I asked you before about that. And I only know of one place that had them, but I don't recommend them because they don't do me. I don't do them. They talk about me on social media. So guess what? They don't get to get referred on my platform. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have one to give to you. The only one that I did know, I don't fool with them no more. So yeah, their name won't come out of my mouth. Yes, it's the same ink. If you go to our website, it tells you it's the same one. So you have the 7210. It's the exact same ink, the exact same cartridges as the 7710 or the 7720. So if you're having an issue, you have a 7210, you don't have to buy new cartridges. Take the cartridges from your 7710 or 7720 and put them in your 7210. All right, so I'm going to get out of here before you ask any other questions, but hopefully that helped you. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one. Peace.